and welcome to No Movies in Hell. I'm Chris Geiger.
I'm McClaw Scott, and today we are reviewing Poor Things, a film by Yorgos. I cannot pronounce this man's last name. I feel bad, but I really like all his films that I've seen so far.
I feel like he should become like Cher. Like, it's just Yorgos.
McG.
Yeah, I like a lot of his, like Killing of a Sacred Deer, I think was him. The Lobster.
Yes, The Lobster. The Favorite.
Oh, The Favorite. What was the one where the father was keeping the family isolated? And he would go to work in a factory every day, but like he told the children that they couldn't go out because like if they left the house, like the grounds that they lived on, like they would be killed.
Oh wow, I've never heard of that.
Oh, maybe it's not by him, but I thought it was. It's interesting. I'll put the name of it in the comments below.
Yeah, well, for The Favorite, Olivia Colman was in that. And she won her Oscar from that film. Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah. So it's good to see, like, I feel like he has his favorites that he puts in his like cinematic universe, Willem Dafoe being one. Yeah, I think this was a highly anticipated film. I feel like I've seen lots and lots of trailers and teased for many months. And then it was pushed back too with the release date. And finally, Poor Things is here. Yeah, I just thought it was a very impressive movie.
Yeah, so good. I loved the visual.
Yes.
It was interesting because I felt like it was very steampunkish.
Yes, yeah.
So clean. Like usually when you see steampunk portrayed, it's like everything's rusty and like dirty and people are like, it's very dystopian. But like in this, it's very like, it was steampunk, but very clean and pretty and pastel. And it was just a weird way to execute that. But I liked it.
Yeah, I really liked the visualizations. And yeah, maybe there's a new genre of this like kind of retro futuristic, but clean. It's like surrealism, not only with like the countries and the places traveled, because it kind of takes not like a plane, trains, and automobiles approach, but definitely like boat, train, etc. But the costuming was like amazing. Like I loved every single piece that Emma Stone's character wore. Yeah, I just thought it was just beautiful.
Agreed. There's so many people in it that I loved the characters. I almost felt like it was a little bit Wes Anderson-ish.
Yeah.
Still the way that people were talking, understanding that of course her character will be very flat affect. Like the people that she meets on the boat, they're very like flat in terms of like, oh, I never thought I'd be murdered. How interesting. And some of the scenes even seemed very like, if you took them and made them in a different time period, it would be very Game of Thrones-ish when she goes out to Alexandria.
Yes, yeah.
Like that winding staircase up the side of the building. It was very cool.
Yeah.
And I love Mark Ruffalo's character.
Oh gosh. Yeah, you never really see him play like kind of like a dirtbag, right?
Right, but just so over the top. Like,
yes.
It was great. Let's go to the slide.
Cool. Yeah, I think I gave it more I think the soundtrack was cool. It's very like original, right? It was just interesting because it fit the theme, the cinematography so well. It's just kind of like this simple, jaunty, plucky music. And yes, the special effects I thought were amazing. Like just to think about like the surrealism and everything having to do with this world. And even, I mean, I really like the story. I figured, it is like a Frankenstein story, except for it's from a woman's point of view. And it just takes and deconstructs like every single thing that normally what you're taught or, as a kid or, and you kind of just start to question a lot of things. And, instead of having it be a societal norm, you have this character, Bella Baxter, who just literally questions like everything and like why. And, I just feel like in society, when you start questioning a lot, then you become the problem because then some people just don't have answers. And so she's trying to figure out, why are things the way they are? Her situation is just so strange, and it's kind of like, hey, I'm going to go explore with this person. I have no intent of being with it for a long time. But I'm going to do this and just see the world. Yeah, I just thought like it's just really, really great storytelling and lots of horrifying things. I guess not to spoil it, but of figuring out like origin story and stuff. It's kind of like, oh wow, like, you know, kind of shocking. But oh yeah, overall, like and so I don't know. I don't want to say I'm happy that I waited. We had to wait to see this film, but no, this is a really, really great film.
It's worth waiting for, definitely.
Yes, yes.
I did like at the end. They could have.
Okay, we're gonna spoil it. Spoilers.
Spoiler. Her husband when he shows up.
Yes.
Sort of seemed odd. Like I always felt like they could have ended it. Like she just marries McCandless.
Yeah.
It would have been like a tidy little ending.
Yeah.
It seemed like a weird, like, why would Mark Ruffalo's character bring her ex-husband into the, like, that made no sense.
Well,
And also, was he in an asylum?
yes, I think he was in an asylum.
And then somehow he escapes, or they let him out, or maybe he was in debtor's prison. I wasn't sure. But I was just like, how did he get out?
Yeah.
And back to, like, and then what would be his motivation for getting her back together with her ex-husband? Because his motivation, like that made no sense to me.
Yeah. But I think that his motivation was just to get back at her. Like the point with which he thought he lost all his money, and they were just kind of like out in the cold. And then she was like, well, actually, I have, money. And he was just like, wait, what? This whole time. And it just kind of like drove him nuts that she wasn't conforming to the things that he normally would, his tricks and schemes, like she would get out of him. And so I think that she's literally driving him mad. He was going to try to inflict as much pain as possible. So having the marriage, trying to disrupt it, even though he's a lawyer for her, I guess her marriage certificate or dowry, was trying to like inflict pain, and or he was paid to figure out, this man was actually trying to find his wife, and then he was like, oh, I found her, and was getting money for it, so there was like a bounty on her head.
Oh, maybe. I didn't think of it that way. Like well, he said like he heard that woman say her name and when they were in the lobby waiting. And then he put her picture in the paper and the husband found, but like to me that might also be a good thing for her. Like, oh yeah, I'm reuniting you with your husband. You have amnesia. Like I'm doing you a favor by like getting you back to, so I I didn't get that. And then the way they disposed of the husband I thought was interesting, because I thought that they would have put the brain of Godwin.
Oh yeah, is it Godfrey? Oh, into her husband?
Into her husband.
Oh no.
That would have been like really interesting, right? Like
that would have been interesting.
Yeah, like if you're gonna add on this extra story, I mean, it probably would have made the movie like 4 hours long, but if you add on this extra storyline of the ex-husband, like let's give him more of a purpose. Because the other thing is, is no one going to look for the ex-husband?
That's true. The people in his castle didn't necessarily like him. However, I just knowing like the external, like having to face the external with like the brain of the external, like a monster with the brain of like her father and all these people who lived under God's tutelage would have been horrifying. I think it's one of those, yeah. It sounds like a good idea, but maybe it'd be net new. And I don't know, if the brains were swapped, he'd probably think that he'd have his like digestive problem.
Right. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, it could have been, but I liked it. I just thought they were interesting choices.
Yeah. I thought it was a fitting end because it's kind of like ugh, this person was like, oh, like a brutal murderer and, kind of gets his just desserts as a harmless farm animal. So,
Right. Do you have anything to play in this episode?
actually, I don't have anything to plug, but I do have something to say. When I saw this film, it was Alamo had a special screening, and so it was really cool because we got like a swag bag and we got like the Bella Baxter sunglasses, which I feel like are going to be super iconic. And it's what's interesting is that there were chairs set up. So at the end of, during the film, but then, there were chairs set up, kind of like there's going to be a Q&A. And so we were like super excited, like, oh, there might be a Q&A afterwards. No, they just like up the house lights, turn off, like, bye, everyone. And then a couple days later, I saw that, the screening was on a Tuesday. So the following weekend, there were going to be like Willem Dafoe and Mark Ruffalo and Rami would be at Alamo, downtown Brooklyn, doing a Q&A. And I'm like, oh, missed it, but it was good.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that maybe like scheduling is weird these days, like for opening, but hopefully it levels out. I'm sure it's hard with like just coming off the strike and then trying to get everything organized. Plus, it's the holidays in New York, which is a little bit crazy this year. I don't like. Maybe I just got used to the pandemic.
Oh, no, I agree. I was out. Yes, I just went to the grocery store yesterday, and I was just like, "This is wild! Like, I can't get here. The line's long, and everything. There's nothing left." So,
I know it is weird, but good that the people are coming back. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
bye.